my my vortex again. When everything resets, sometimes works in your favor. Good morning at YouTube and good morning TikTok. You're watching live with LWL Lindsay with love. And today is Monday, the 23rd of June, 2025. Holy freaking moly. Time is going by so fast. I feel like once you really step onto the path of an entrepreneur, time goes so freaking fast. Of course, we manage our time the way we want to, and we can bend time. We all know that as spiritual beings here on this planet, but it still just seems like it goes so freaking fast, and it's like the best ride ever. My email is fixed now too. Woohoo! VIP Jules. Tomorrow is my birthday, VIP Jamie. Happy early birthday. How exciting. Cancer energy. Cancer, right? Early Cancer placement. All right, let's get on with the show. Today we are talking unlock the secrets, what happens during your spiritual awakening. This is going to be a wu-wei conversation. In other words, if you have things you want to say during it, please jump in. I did not prepare this morning for anything, and I was like, you know what? Maybe, like, I've really been trying to push myself to share more and be more vulnerable about my journey. It's kind of tricky. On one hand, you want to really share. On the other hand, you don't want to be like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and like overwhelm people. So we're just kind of gonna go with the flow of it all and see how it goes. If you're new here, either on TikTok or YouTube, hi, I'm Lindsay, and I'm here to raise the frequency of the planet. And really my ultimate goal is to transform as many lives as possible by helping raise awareness, helping you understand who you really are at an energetic level. And then from there, once you understand your hangups, because some people don't even know that they're stuck in a cycle, but once you figure that part out, then you can break free from it and release the limiting beliefs and reprogram the subconscious mind. Ladies, my VP promotion. Go on, VIP Mel L. Welcome. Good morning. Wow. Birthdays, promotions, life is good. Life is good. You got VIP Aaron skydiving over the weekend. Freaking hell yeah. You guys are awesome. I'm so proud of all of you. I really am. And VIP Jules, yes, your email's fixed, and that was like a whole trip in and of itself. But we finally figured it out. Yay! And I hate to say, but it was kind of on my end, but also like maybe not. I don't know. I feel like it was like a weird thing, but I'm glad it's fixed. It's weird, like this is fixed, your email is fixed, but hey, whatever. I'm happy to be living in this energy. Wow, VIP Mel L, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you. And by the way, not only is your promotion official today, official, but your report is like literally almost done. I know it's taken me almost 4 weeks, but shit, your girl has been writing. And I'm excited to send it to you, hopefully by the end of this week. My goal is Friday. I need to proofread it. Good morning, Bex. You can't sneak on me this morning. Good morning, Bex. Be the Vision, welcome to the show. Phil, welcome to the show. Okay, so let's do the damn thing. Good morning, Sarah on YouTube. Sorry, I need to put my YouTube screen and go dual screen. Good morning, VIP Deborah's in the house. Hey, Bex, welcome. Okay, so let's chat. Spiritual awakening. I was planning to kind of just share with you guys like kind of the progression of it. I know some of you have heard this story, so maybe it would be helpful if you don't want to hear about that. Maybe it would be helpful like if you have questions about your awakening, specifically maybe where you're at in your awakening, what's happening in your awakening, we can talk that too. So please like drop your questions in the chat if you have those. I was reading, oh, so pretty. Oh, with a rainbow too. Thank you for that, Jules. I was wondering what you guys know, I always just pick a new one now because I'm so curious. I love the little animations. I think it's so pretty. Thank you for that, VIP Jules. So I was reading this weekend, the rainbow, I know. I was like, oh, go on. Good morning, VIP Deborah. I was reading this weekend, The Teachings of Don Juan, book 4. And I'm also simultaneously reading The Universal One, which is very like, whoa, in my brain. And so I'm kind of like oscillating between these readings around like, we are light beings, everything is light, everything is energy, one and the same. If you want to call it energy, you want to call it light. So we're made of light, the whole world is made of light, and we only exist because of our minds. And it's like this like, right? And that's like the universal one. And then simultaneously, the teachings of Don Juan is all about how we're luminous beings. And we have different kind of cords running out of like right underneath of our navel. And then that kind of correlates to this book I read from like, I don't know, the late 1800s, talking about how the power is really in the stomach, not the heart. And maybe if you have been studying spirituality or any like esoteric knowledge, you've heard this before, where it's like really the solar plexus that holds the power. And then I'm in hot yoga and we do at the very end the breathing from the gut. And so I'm like, okay, this is like really vibey. Like this is all kind of like, whoa, whoa, like right in my world. And um, specifically when I was thinking about like the teachings of Don Juan. Ooh, thank you for the Galaxy VIP, Deborah. Oh, the star map. Excuse me, the star map. Welcome to the show. I was um I was really thinking about like the luminosity part of it. Like if you were to if you were to just light yourself completely up, you would win, right? And it really hit me. And then I was thinking about quantum computers, and I was like, are we quantum computers? You know, they say humans are like computers. We program ourselves with certain code, which is, you know, happening when we're younger. Thank you, Mel L, for the sunflower. So freaking pretty. VIP Mel L. You know, we're like quantum, like in my mind I'm like, maybe I'm a quantum computer, and if I were to just code myself full of love and light and then follow not just my heart but my gut instinct too. They call it a gut instinct for a reason, right? It comes from the gut, the strong solar plexus. Then am I winning? Am I just totally winning at life? I don't know, you guys. I've been thinking about this. What are your thoughts? What's going on? Is this just me? Is this only me? And I had something else in my brain I wanted to share specifically about the teachings of Don Juan. Uh, 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 uh. uh. The books are getting crazy. Has anybody read that series? Holy cow, it's getting crazier and crazier, and I love it. He talks about how basically we have to be able to, and it kind of goes nicely, Erin, with your information, and Catherine, to VIP Catherine, I don't know if she's here yet, about how like the skydiving, right, where it's like it's this moment of like pure peace, kind of filled with like adrenaline, and it's just this like temporarily, it's almost like you're like just like hanging in space, kind of a vibe. Um, and I mean, he talks about how you can just like transcend all these different frequencies and just like literally travel to different places. It's wild, you guys. I don't know. What do you want to talk? I've only read the agreements book, the Four Agreements. That book, The Four Agreements, is by Miguel Ruiz, right? The Four Agreements. That's a really powerful book. All right, then I guess let's just go into it. Let's go into, oh, this is, okay, now I remembered. I'm like, what was I trying to say? So in the book, book 4, The Teachings of Don Juan, I don't know the name of this book, but in book 4, he's talking about how you can read somebody's tonal. Okay, so I'm not going to go into the whole explanation of it because that's like a whole video in and of itself. But basically what he's saying is you can read somebody's energy. And he's teaching Carlos, right? Little Carlos, they call him Carlitos, because they're teasing him because they're trying to teach him how to be a warrior. And warriors see. And basically what I'm gathering in book 4, and I haven't read the whole series, so you know, this is where I'm at in my studies, but basically what he's saying is like, you can see this person's tonal. And Carlitos is like, what is he talking about? I can't figure it out. And he's like trying to explain it, and the second that you try to explain anything spiritual, it's already limited because words are limiting, right? We have 26 characters. We put them into a bunch of different words. We try to form sentences in many different ways so we can communicate out. But what he's trying to explain is like you can see, not see, but like, yeah, kind of see, sense, feel the person's aura. And not even that, but like go even deeper in, right? So one of them was like, the example was like the guy walking past the two of them, they were like people watching basically, and Don Juan was like, Carlos, like, tell me about this person's tonal. And Carlos was like, you know, this, then this, and he's like, you're doing okay, but like you can be better, and you know you can be better. And then the next person that walked by, the guy was like, he's a drunkard. And Don Juan was like, well, tell me more. And he's like, he's like, he is, I don't know, like, I don't know how I know, but he is, the way he's walking, the way that he's moving, the sense of his energy. And it's basically a claircognizance is what they're talking about. And Carlitos can't explain to Don Juan how he knows, but he just knows, right? And so it's quite an interesting, like, I'm reading the story and I'm like, yeah, that's basically like what happens is you learn to read people's energy. Now, you don't have to go so deep, but like you could very quickly, like, if somebody started to tell you a story about something, and you were really tapped in energetically. You knew about where self-worth lives. You knew, the energy behind certain words. You understood that when these energies combined, they sent off a certain frequency. You could listen to the way they're projecting. Are they talking super quiet? Are they, ah? Are they just like, hey, this is who I am, da 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 da, right? So there's all this kind of like compilation of energies at any given time that makes the person's tonal. And once you learn that, you can really quickly like tap in. So, like, that's kind of where I'm at in my journey. I woke up in 2019, so it's been years that I've been practicing. It's not like this happened overnight. Some of it did happen in an instant, in a very quick instant, but otherwise, this has been kind of like a progression. And when I think about like reading energies now, it's like super simple. Like I can just have a quick conversation with somebody and I'm like, okay, like this person is struggling with insecurities in XYZ. This person, especially like insecurities are the easiest, by the way, because if you were to just pay attention to what somebody talks about often, from like I need to fix this or whatever, you would know that that's their insecurity. Like you can talk to somebody and they're always talking about their weight. They're always talking about the shape of their body. They're always talking about their lack of money. Like those are like, it's obvious, right? Because insecurities are loud, confidence is quiet. So I don't know. What are you guys thinking? Let's see. VIP Jamie says that's something that gets easier is flexing those empath abilities the more awake you are. It's good but overwhelming right now. Yeah, it is easier to use your, exactly. And like your empath energy is a superpower, but a lot of people don't view it as that because they're in like the overwhelmed stage of being an empath, right? But once you get past that and you start to view it as a superpower rather than a hindrance, you are like, okay, like now I can actually just read the room and it's super powerful. We've talked about that before. Yeah, super powerful. It's good but overwhelming right now. I trust that you are on a path that is leading you to somewhere really powerful. I trust that. And I'm excited to see where that takes you and where you go from here. So stick with it, girlie. You got this. You guys, we've got a flash goal. Let's see what it is. Who wants to play? 12 gifters send a heart me. Come on. Everybody already sent their heart me, so we're not going to play. No, I don't want to play with you. TikTok. I'm in my journey. In my journey, I'm still learning what energy is mine. VIP Jamie says, thank you. You got this. That's a tricky one, right? Especially depending on like your open centers. I know you kind of talked about this with me via email, like your open centers and understanding like, okay, is this my feeling or is this somebody else's feeling? That was really hard for me too. I still kind of fall like, I still get tripped up on that. Like I still do. And I still fall into like sometimes wanting to like help somebody out of their own feelings. And then it's like, wait a minute, these aren't my feelings. This is not mine to manage. Like we're doing a cleanse. My partner and I were doing like a raw veggie and fruit cleanse. I shouldn't say raw because we have been grilling, but only using like pepper and olive oil and rice vinegar. But we're doing like a no sugar, really low, like we're having like some yams, some potatoes, but mostly it's like fruits and veggies. And we're on day 7. This has been a full week. And this weekend, oh my gosh, you guys, he woke up on like, this man wakes up cranky. And I'm like, how can you wake up from sleep cranky? Like, I do not get that. Like, even I have like wildest dreams. I still wake up and I'm like, okay, today's a new day, right? And I go, are you cranky? Like, are you mad? And he's like, yeah, I'm mad. I'm hungry. I was like, you're not hungry. You're really not. Like, we've been eating all day, every day, fruits and veggies. You are just hungry for something that is not what we're eating right now. So stop. So like moments like that where I'm like trying to like stay on my, path. And then I have my partner who's maybe a little bit cranky for whatever reason. It can get tricky, right? To be like, okay, this is, and he'll tell me, he'll be like, he's like, I'm not asking you to solve my problems. And I'm like, good, because I'm not trying to, right? VIP Aaron says to VIP Jamie, same, I have a narrative list of questions to help these days. That boy is craving carbs, lol, I know. I bought some yams, and he was like, what are you eating? I was like, I just like warmed up a yam. Like I put it on the stove, and he was like, he's like, okay, can I have some? I was like, well, yeah, of course. Like I bought like anything, like I bought the groceries for us. And he's like, okay. And then the next morning, he's like, I ate all of your yams. I was like, it's okay. It's okay. And then we did a hot yoga and it was so hot again this weekend, you guys. It was like probably, I don't know, that room is so hot, like 114, 115. and the instructor was getting a little bit annoyed because people were going in and out. And I thought to myself, if you don't want people to open the door, then just turn down the heat. Like, we're passing out in here. And my man got so annoyed, he protested the second half of the class and just lied on his yoga. I was like, did you do any of the floor series? And he's like, no, I just lied there. I was like, why? He's like, I was protesting. He was having his own like sit-in protest. I'm like, what a wild man. VIP Jewel says, in my diabetic group, they say that roasted radish tastes like red potatoes. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Jamie says, oh, that would be useful. Yeah. Aaron, VIP Aaron, what kind of questions do you ask yourself as it relates to like, are these my emotions or is this somebody else's energy, right? Maybe you can drop some in. My place, you can't leave the room unless it's an emergency. Yeah, the same for ours. But also it was interesting because there was like a 13-year-old in our class, like maybe 13 to 14, 12. Like they let a little kid in the class and I was like, okay, well, like why are you letting children in your hot yoga class? First, like it should be an 18 up and up thing in my opinion. I just don't see what a 16 or 17-year-old would be doing in yoga, like hot yoga even. Like 18 and up hot yoga, so that way the door isn't opening constantly because you have a child in basically a sauna for an hour and a half, not knowing what to do. It's okay to throw tantrums sometimes. Yeah, he really did. Good morning, Hollywood. Good morning, Alyssa or Elisa. Welcome to the show. I mean, if you gotta let your energy out, you gotta let your energy out, right? I always just try to do it as like beneficially as possible. Walking it out, like yesterday, for example, I was trying to film a horoscope video and I was just really struggling. Like there is times when like my creativity is just on, my words are coming out. But yesterday I was like, like I would film and I'm like, what did I even just say? Like, does it even make sense? Like, did the words that I put together form a complete sentence? And so I was getting kind of frustrated. And it's because I know why. When my man sits in the living room, I feel like he's listening to me record and I get like kind of embarrassed. Not embarrassed, but I get like nervous. And then I start to trip over my words. So I like came out and I was like, babe, I was like, can you go into the room and like shut the door? And he's like, why? I'm like, maybe you're not listening to me, but I feel like you're listening to me, and it like trips me up, and then I just like can't say anything. And he's like, okay. So then I started like doing laps in the living room, and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I just need you to go in the room and I'm just gonna like walk it off. And he's like, are you okay? I'm like, yes, I just need to like walk it off. Once you go in the room, I'm gonna do a couple more laps and I'm gonna come into this room and I'm gonna finish. And he's like, oh, okay. Like, okay, crazy lady, do what you gotta do. VIP Aaron says, I recently read the book Too Much by Terry Cole. Game changer for me, to boil down to her saying, good morning, VIP Catherine. Boiled down to her saying, VIP Jamie says, so now I'm biking off frustration and it looks adorable. There you go. Her saying, our need to control fix is our discomfort and being in the presence of other people's discomfort. Well, yeah, it's like people pleasing, right? People pleasing to the extreme, which is just like, yeah. And honestly, like that, I think just is like, people pleasing is very much programmed. I was actually going to do an experiment, you guys, and maybe I should. Tell me if I should. I was going to post this on TikTok. And it was going to be a quick experiment around like people pleasing, and like drop it in the chat of this, like drop in the comments below if like, if this is you, like if you fall into these categories, which would be, you have like people pleasing tendencies. There was like a couple other whatever, like kind of identifiers, and then it was like if you are people pleasing, like good at like negotiating, calming the room, like mediating type energy. And I was like, okay, if you are an oldest daughter, one, that's first. If you are an oldest daughter, middle child, like bonus points for you. and like a sidebar, like if you are an only child daughter, are you good at people pleasing, managing other people's, or like you're really good at like, you're empathetic, you're highly sensitive, people pleasing, super powerful negotiator / mediator? I just want to know. Like, I just feel like that would be like, that's who you are. Good morning, VIP Catherine. VIP Earth says, no, that's what I always thought it was. It isn't people pleasing. It is my inability to be uncomfortable. I was never trying to make them happy for them. Oh, interesting. It's turning their mood around so I wasn't so uneasy being around them. It's hard to explain. No, I get it. Yeah, I get that. It was like you didn't want to feel energetically uncomfortable because you feel other people's energy, and it was so uncomfortable to you that you just wanted to like make it better so you didn't have to feel the feelings you felt, because you can read others' energy. Yeah, but that's your superpower, VIP Aaron, right? VIP Jewel says, mild people pleaser, total mediator, raised as only child, youngest, but in birth order, bio oldest. Raised as a youngest, only child, youngest, okay, but in birth order, bio, oh, interesting. Yeah, that's interesting, VIP Jules. So you like hit them all. I'm middle child, oldest daughter. Middle child, oldest daughter. I feel like I can just smooth anything over. You need me to smooth something over, I'm gonna be the one to smooth it over. It just like is what it is. It's weird though, right? How those kind of energies play out. All right, so I guess back to like the actual spiritual awakening, because if somebody were to watch this on replay, they'd be like, is she ever going to talk about that? Is she ever going to talk about the spiritual awakening? Raised as an only child, but second daughter. Second daughter. Oh, interesting, Mel Al. VIP Aaron says, yes, that's why I'm learning now. So when I feel the energy, I'm asking what the issue, yeah, is. Yep, VIP Aaron. VIP Jamie says, my mom and dad's oldest daughter, but I was raised with two stepsisters, so it's weird. Oh, interesting. Your mom and dad's oldest daughter. When you were with the two stepsisters, are you still the oldest, VIP Jamie, or where are you at in that category, in that like age range? Are you still the oldest? That are older. Oh, so you're the youngest. Interesting. Huh. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I would be curious to know. I think it's a superpower. VIP Aaron says in the room is who had the issue if I have a role, if I want a role, etc. Got it. Am I the only child here? VIP Catherine. It sounds like you're the only child, but many were raised as only children. I love that we all have these unique family compositions. Yeah, I think that's what makes everyone so special, right? And of course, it leads into like the programming and all that. Unique, yeah, I knew what you meant there. Yeah, good questions. Who has the issue? Do I want to roll in it? If I want to roll in it, I have decided for the most part, I don't want a role in anybody's emotional issues. Like if somebody, like if I come into a room, the only time, I take that back. Okay, I take that back. If I come into a room, say for example, I'm walking into a dinner or I'm meeting somebody for the first time and I can tell, like I can feel that that person is very like nervous or whatever, or feeling like maybe a little bit of a type of way, you can read that, right? And so I will like do as much as I can from like a chatting perspective, from like a body language perspective to say like, hey, I'm a safe person, you can chat with me and like we're gonna have a nice time together. It's not gonna be some like uncomfortable experience for you. Like that's, I do try to do my best in that. But if I'm coming into a room and like the energy is like real jacked and it's like not my problem, like I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm gonna let everyone else figure out their own problems. Amanda, welcome to the show. Thanks for the share. VIP Catherine says, damn, wondered why I felt so alone in my life. So thankful I found you. Aw, we're so happy you're here. VIP Aaron says, it's situational for me, acquaintance versus family. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point too. Like, if I barely know you, but also like if I'm just meeting you and you're uncomfortable, then I want to make you feel comfortable, right? I don't know. I think it is very situational. You're right. But for the most part, I think it's best if we were to just manage our emotions, and that means we're always in a high vibrational state. And if we're always in a high vibrational state, then when people are coming in, they're going to meet us there, right? For the most part, I would say. They're going to meet us there, or they're just going to go pout in the corner by themselves. Grown people pouting is kind of like funny to watch, in my opinion, and I like kind of like, I'm just like, oh, come on, guys. VIP Jamie says, I just want to live and be happy being me with people who are happy with me being me. Go on, girl. Do it then. You're already doing it, so keep doing it. And if you want to do that, just do it for yourself and then exude that energy out, right? Okay, so spiritual awakening, I guess we can start at the beginning. Where else would you start, I guess? I guess maybe we talk through like the ebbs and flows of the awakening, maybe the different moments of the awakening. First, of course, you awaken. There is likely a catalyst that's triggering you into an awakening. I haven't really like read a lot of stories where it's something like really small and like one day you're just awake. Although that kind of happened to me. One day I was just there and I was just awake. But leading up to that had been like a lot of triggers, which was like, okay, being like kind of like faking it till I made it in my corporate job, then getting laid off for the first time ever. That was a big trigger for me. And then going into my second job, like my dream job, and then being laid off again, that was another trigger for me. And it was around that time that's when I like really woke up. I would say. Maybe I woke up like in between that, but I was not fully like in it yet. Like I was awake, all of a sudden I knew things, but it was like I still wasn't really there yet. And I think a lot of the reason I didn't wake up like maybe not necessarily faster, but perhaps I didn't wake up like I didn't really integrate and start implementing my knowledge right away was one, I was super insecure. I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't have the confidence to do it. I was still just trying to like have the confidence to be working the job I had and like being hanging out with the people I was hanging out with and like being invited to the places I was being invited to. Like I was still building my self-worth for all of that. Then I'm like on top of it I have all this spiritual knowledge. Yeah, right. Like I'm just trying to fit in at this point, and then all of a sudden now I'm like some weirdo that's like, by the way, did you know like we are energy? People will be like, okay girl, like you're not invited to happy hour anymore, you know? So it was like there was that. And so I think at the beginning, like, had I maybe had more people to interact with around this, like my bestie, super spiritual, always has been. We really clicked on that. In fact, before I even woke up, this is even before I freaking woke up, I told her. And like looking back, maybe I was just awake this whole time and I was just like missing the point. But I told her, like, I remember we were out at a bar and we used to love to go dancing all the time. Like we would go dance like every weekend, just like go have a drink or two and just like have fun, like girl time. And I looked down, we were sitting at a table and I looked down and there was a dime. And I looked at her and I picked it up and I was like, okay, girl, like this is gonna be really sound really freaking weird, but I find dimes all the time. And like I do think it's like somebody that's passed is leaving me these dimes. And I explained to her why, and she was like, oh my gosh, she's like, I totally believe it. And like instantly I was like, okay, this is the one person I can talk to about like this weird stuff that is happening in my life. And that was the moment we truly became like super besties, when I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like put my weird self out, like my weird self out there and see what happens. So there was that. Have a great day, Mel L, VIP Mel L, congrats again. Amanda says, I shared with my oldest daughter, I've recently started listening to you and find your content helpful. Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Oh, you guys are so sweet to each other. Yay. VIP Catherine says to Amanda, you'll learn and grow so much here. Yes, amazing. That's so true. Hopefully. Good morning, Shay Shay in the D. Welcome to the show, girl. How are you? How have you been? I hope well. Happy Go Lucky says, where can I strengthen or what or how to bring more money? That's a great question. Beautiful confirmation, by the way, because for those of you that I promised I was going to finish my money course work, it is done. It is done. And I have picked a launch day. I'm going to start launching, like, get on the wait, like, launch emails starting, like, next Sunday. Next Sunday through, like, Wednesday, I'm going to start sending out information around this course. If you get in on my waitlist, it's going to be powerful because waitlist means that you're going to get access right away first day. It's going to be the least expensive on day one. Day two, it's going to go higher. Day three, it's going to go higher, and that's where it's going to land. So it's like get in while the getting is good type of vibes. And as it relates to money, it's in your entire chakra system. So that's something I learned, I would say maybe like 3 years into my spiritual awakening, was like the energy of money and starting to reprogram. I was born with the belief that we never had enough. We never had enough, which made me believe that there was limited amounts of money in the universe, which is a lie. It's not true. The universe is abundant for everybody. It's ever expanding. And specifically as it relates to money, money is an energy. So if energy is constantly expanding, that means money is constantly expanding, and yours is simply out there for the taking. And so as it relates to, yeah, Shay Shay, you haven't, yeah, it's been like 6 months no robe, I think. Wait, that's not true. You guys, when did I stop wearing my robe? Not 6 months. That's crazy talk. 3 months, maybe 3 months, but that's okay. I'm glad you're here now. So as it relates to, there it is. Beck says, I know, freaking finally, right? Finally. So as it relates to money, think about 3 months. Yeah, I was thinking like March. Was it around like March? The root chakra is in charge of money because that's your energy around security and safety in the world as a human spiritual being. So the root chakra for sure in charge of money. The sacral chakra, this is your passion, your zest for life, your creativity. The more creative you are and the more confident you are to share your creativity, the more money you'll receive in charge of your money. The solar plexus, your confidence, your personal power, all matters of growth and expansion, very obviously in charge of your money. Your heart chakra, in charge of forgiveness and self-love. The more you love yourself, the more you're going to enhance your skill set. The more you enhance your skill set, the more money you're going to make. And on top of it, it's all about forgiveness in the heart chakra. And if you are not forgiving other people, you're blocking abundance from flowing to you. So also all about money. Your throat chakra, this is your authority. This is your confidence. This is your ability to self-express. and do it in a way that feels good and right for you. So you're in your authenticity with your throat chakra, right? So also in charge of your money. The more authentic you are in this lifetime, the more money you're going to bring in. Your crown, your third eye and your crown, this is your intuition. You're going to tap into flow state. You're going to easily start creating. You're going to listen to your higher self, take the action, move forward toward your dreams and your goals. So definitely all about your money. And then your crown, of course, your connection to all that is. And that is where all of your brilliant ideas are going to come from. So your entire chakra is in charge of your money. And on top of it, it is your subconscious mind as well, right? So as an energetic being, you do really need to get right with your chakra system, heal it, and then on top of that, reprogram the subconscious mind. And by the way, the course is called Break the Beliefs Keeping You Broke. Break the Beliefs Keeping You Broke. And it's going to take you through a series of understanding the beliefs you have, uncovering beliefs you didn't know you have, putting them together in kind of a sentence, in kind of like a chain, because there could be a belief in the middle of the chain that's like jacking you up big time. And you're going to go into past lives, either one or multiple, depending on how often you want to do that, to uncover what you were experiencing in a past life and what you've brought into this life. But instead of bringing it back into this life, you're going to leave it in the past. So when I put myself through my own hypnosis the other Friday, on Friday, I put myself through my own hypnosis. What I uncovered was quite interesting. I went into a past life. Most past lives are like meat and potatoes past lives. I wasn't planning on saying all this to you guys today, but hey, here we are. Here we are. This is what we're doing. It was annoying for me to grow up thinking we never had enough money. It was really hard, and I brought that into my adult life, so I never felt like worthy of having a lot of money. And then I met my partner, who has done very well in his life, and it took a lot for me to feel worthy to even be with him. Not only just to be with him, but to go to the restaurants he took me to go on the experience, to go to the travels he took me to. It took a lot for me to feel okay in my own skin around having these very abundant experiences. And then on top of it, now I'm a spiritual being. And is it okay to be spiritual and have a lot of money? Oh my gosh, there's all these freaking beliefs that are just like swirling. And it's like, how will I ever really have the wealth I want? Not just for my own self, but so I can help other people too, right? So yeah. Holy camole. So in this past life I went into, it was very like meat and potato. Or is this, what does she call them? Like boring. Dolores has a name for these past lives that are very like basic. It's not like you're in the past life and you're the king of some area or whatever. I went into a past life. It was back in like the olden times. There was horse and carriage. I was I couldn't tell if I was like really, I feel like I was like in between. Like maybe I was a teenager, 15, 16, 17, 18, maybe even a little bit older. And it was hard for me to decipher whether I was with my dad or I was with my husband. But back in the times, I feel like they probably married young. So I was like, I don't really know. Like I felt like I was very like young looking, but very wise and mature for my age, if that makes sense. Of course that makes sense. You guys are very smart here. And there was like a little boy there too, maybe 5 or 6. I couldn't tell if it was like my little brother or if he was my kid. And it was just kind of not in the past life, really, it didn't really matter. So in this past life, I discovered many things. So what I'll take you through in this regression inside of this course, and by the way, I think I'm gonna just launch the course at like $49. Like if you get it on day 1, you're paying $49. It's super cheap. It's a fast to the point, like get through it course so that you can like move on with your life and get this money rolling in, right? Flowing to you. So, and by the way, day 2 it'll be $99, and then probably day 3 it'll be $149 where it will stay. So just FYI, it's launching in like a week. So get your money in order. So in this past life, I discovered a couple of things. The first thing I discovered was there was a day where we were almost like robbed. We were like at a market. Like I don't think maybe my husband or my dad sold like goods at a market, like vegetables or something very small. Just enough for us to have like food on the table and like live in this like little kind of shack. It was olden times. We had like a stove, we had like a fire. We were eating like drinking like potato soup. Like it was just very basic. And in this first day, I discovered that we were like robbed. And he was mad. He was just really pissed off that day. And I was like, oh shit. The second day, now it gets very interesting, you guys. It gets really freaking interesting. I'll take you through 3 days and I'm gonna take you to the end of your life in the past life. So it's gonna be like powerful, but everything is gonna stay in the past. Once we wake up, it's done. You journal it, you're gonna rip the paper up, let it free, okay? So the second important day that I go into, I see myself begging him, like, please just let me do it. And I have art. I have like something I want to take to the market. I want to be like a vendor with him. And he's like, no, no, no. Your job is here. You don't get to go do that. You're not going to make any money. What? My whole body is freaking chills. I'm like, what the hell? Literally, what the hell? And shit, I should have wrote it down. And in the course it says, write it down. What was day 3? That was the first moment where we did. He was pissed. We lost some money. The second one was that I wasn't allowed to go make money. And then the third one, I had let them, you guys, like, I discovered it, but I'm good on all that. So that's why I was just like curious. I just wanted to make sure my hypnosis was working for me, and then so my clients can have it working for them. There was another really like interesting experience that like really did like tie into like this lifetime, that like what I had been working on. Oh shit, I wish I could remember. Anyway, so then after that, you realize it's all in the past. You're gonna leave that shit in the past and let it go. Super freaking powerful. I'm really excited for it. Yeah. Right, love it. Oh, you guys are so sweet. April, welcome to the show. Thank you for the follow. So yeah. And then think about it. You can go into as many past lives as you want to because you have the recording. And you could just continue to discover if you think you have more like hangups around your money and leaving them in the past. It doesn't have to affect you in this lifetime. I thought the really interesting one was the second day, and that's why it's in my brain. I don't even remember, like, I'm trying to think. Let me see if I can just pause for a moment and get to the third day in my, like, memory. What happened? I want to say it was, like, I was, like, burying some coins or something. Like, I was hiding them. I can't remember. I can't remember. And then when I got to the end of my life, which I'll take you to the end of the life because sometimes that's important, like depending on whatever. It was just like very basic. It was just like, you know, buried, funeral, like that was the end. It was nothing tragic or traumatic or anything like that. So yeah, it's gonna be, I'm excited. I'm excited to launch it. I think it's gonna be very beneficial for people that are still struggling with something in this lifetime. And then of course there's also reprogramming included and all that good stuff. So there's that. What else, you guys? What else do you have for me this week? This did not really go spiritual awakening. I might need to change the I might need to change the title of this on YouTube so people aren't like, why she didn't even talk about her spiritual awakening. I don't know what it'll be titled. A random spiritual chat by the fireplace without a fireplace. If you're somebody that was listening and you're like, how do I heal my chakra system? One, I will tell you the cheapest way to do it is to literally Google how to heal my root chakra. Like, if you don't know what the chakras are, Google what is the chakra system. Start with a root and heal all the way up. And you can Google how to heal my root chakra, how to heal my sacral chakra, how to heal my solar plexus chakra. If you are somebody that is like, okay, that sounds great, but I need like a program, I need something like to lay it out for me, then you can join my Unleash Your Manifesting Power course. You can find it at my website, lindsaywithlove.com. It's $77 and it will take you through healing your entire chakra system. And it's very simple. You use your 5 senses, but the important part is you do it in a very methodical way. And what happens, and what I find with a lot of people with energy work, is they're very gung-ho about it. It's very exciting at the beginning. You have an awakening. We can tie it back to the spiritual awakening now. You have an awakening. You're so excited to get going. But then the hiccup comes because maybe you don't have people to talk to. Maybe you're like, am I crazy? Maybe you're experiencing all these weird things, nausea, vertigo, your skin is tingling, kind of crawling. Everything appears brighter. Like, why are you seeing in like 2020 supersonic vision? Is that even like, does that even make sense? Like, what other, you're just knowing things without like understanding how you know them. And then people are like, how'd you know that? And you're like, I just know that. And then they think you're a little bit weird. Like all of that, there's that kind of like, I don't want to call it isolation. I don't want to call it that because I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel isolated. But I definitely did feel nervous to like share what I was knowing, right? So if you're feeling that, then you can join the Cosmic Collective today because inside we're talking about spiritual stuff. But we're bringing it down to the physical, right? Because everything is energetics first. And once you learn the energetics behind something, you can start to turn it into the physical. For example, on our Friday, you guys, like, I'm still so grateful for those of you that were hanging out with me on Friday morning, because I was like, I've just got to admit that I'm procrastinating on this, and I've got to tell somebody, and then I'm going to tell them what I'm going to do to turn it around. And like, what is the reason for the procrastination? Well, I want to make sure it's a good course. I want to make sure it works. I want everything to kind of, my perfectionist tendencies are kicking in, but also I want to get it out there to the world because I know it's going to be of value to many people, right? So it's like those moments. It's like, why am I not doing something? Why? What is the actual fear behind this? Like, what is the reason? X, Y, Z. Oh Lord, too hot to even mention a fireplace. Yeah, it was like so hot this weekend. We were by the pool yesterday and Saturday was like 95 degrees. Oh my gosh, it was so hot. VIP Deborah says he's coming at 10. Woo. Who's coming at 10? Did I miss something, VIP Deborah? VIP Jewel says, but not since finding Lindsay in the CC, it's all clicked. Oh my gosh, am I missing comments? Some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community's experience. What the heck? Oh, I'm missing comments. This is lame. I don't know why, you guys. I don't have any filters on, but just as an FYI, you're missing them too. Come on. What the helly? What the helly? What the helly, TikTok? I don't know, you guys. TikTok's always changing its rules, and I'm just like trying to play the game. I'm just over here trying to play the game. What else? So for those of you that are, I put it in Discord. Okay, thank you, VIP Deborah. Okay, oh, well, I'm on Discord right now, so I can read it to you guys. VIP Deborah, oh, log in. I'm not on Discord. Open Discord, there we go. Thanks, VIP Deborah. Maybe you can put it on YouTube as well. I want to say maybe somebody's coming for your bathroom. Is that what's happening? You know, the plumber says, yes, I can put the toilet where I want. Woo! We already knew that, VIP Deborah. We already knew that. TikTok is TikToking. All right, VIP Deborah says, the plumber is coming to say, the plumber is coming this morning at 10, and she wants all of the best energy that she can put the toilet in her bathroom reno where she wants to put it. So let's all just like trust that the plumber says, yes, easy peasy, done, and life is good. The manifestations have been manifesting like crazy. But let's go back to the spiritual. You guys, I'm so like, I'm kind of scattered today. VIP Air says, yay, we're getting ready to start our bathroom finally too. Ooh, all these bathroom renovations inside the Cosmic Collective and Manifesting Club. I love it. Okay. So you feel a little bit like, what the heck? If you need friends, if you, like, honestly, had I joined a spiritual community at the beginning of my awakening, I would be perhaps further along, but I also believe I'm in divine order, and so maybe not, right? Like, it just is what it is. And what is time anything? Anyway, it's just an illusion. It's a man-made, time is a man-made technology, I believe. So whatever. You know, humans are so interesting. They'll create something that does not exist, and then they'll charge people for it. Wait, what? What? It's so wild. I love it. Anyway, they'll monetize it. I love it. So find a spiritual awakening if you need, or spiritual awakenings. Find a spiritual community if you need one. I host one if you want to join. But if you don't want to join with me, then go find one. If you're feeling like I am stuck, I'm like, what do I do next in my awakening? Then at the next part of the awakening, once you feel confident, a little more confident, you want to tell everybody. You want to awaken everybody. And then you become quite frustrated after maybe a couple of years of trying to awaken everybody. And it feels like, oh my gosh, I have to get everybody awake. I have to do this. And you feel very like, oh, like, let's go, let's go. It's a little bit chaotic. It's a little bit like, oh my gosh, like, how come nobody knows this? Like, you want a megaphone and you want to shout it from the rooftop. You want to go to the highest mountain and you want to be like, everybody awaken, awaken now, right? So there's that part of the journey. And then there's the part where you're like, okay, now I realize like it's not my job to awaken people. It's my job to help people once they do awaken. So then you kind of calm down on that. And then from there, I think it becomes just like full on like, I love myself, I love my life, and now I'm going to manifest the shit out of it. And you are kind of just like vibing out, and it's a constant game of like managing your energy, making sure you're in this like receiving and giving state. It's funny because I was talking to God. You guys, here at Lindsay with Love, I use God, Source, Universe, Creator. Most of you probably know that by now, but in my life I use God. And it's not the God that I was taught as growing up Catholic. It's a different God. It's a God that I've created that resonates with me in my heart. Okay, so it's my God. Everybody has their own version, by the way. Nobody's version is right or wrong. It's what's right for you. So pick the God that's right for you. If you want to call it God, source, universe, creator, any other name, I don't care. Whatever you want. Buddha, Allah, pick one, whatever, right? So I was talking to God when I walked into yoga, because I was talking to God about this money course. I'm trying to, like, I was kind of thinking about like when to launch it. I was looking at my astrology. I have the dates picked out now. And I was like, okay, I just like I want like a sign that I'm like good energetically to launch this course. Like everything is right. And so I got some like really empowered energy and like thoughts, which were, if I just need to stay in an imbalanced flow state of giving and receiving. And so from here until the launch day and after, basically what I channeled, what came to my brain was, when you breathe in empowerment. When you receive energy from the universe, receive empowerment. And when you exhale, send out gratitude. And if you can stay in a balance of empowerment and gratitude from here on out, you're going to be successful. So, Bex, that's cute. Gus, God, universe, source, that's cute. I love that. VIP Jewel says, my phone is glitchy. I don't think it's just you. I think TikTok is blocking certain things. VIP Aaron says, I recently heard someone say, instead of God, universe, source, and I think spirit, she now calls it Gus. I love that. Talks with the name now. Yeah, Aaron and I had the same thought. I know, that's perfect. Yeah, two to make it true, right? I heard somebody else on TikTok say, don't ask the universe for something, ask God or whatever name you give it, unless you have them as the same energy, they're equal in energetics. Because if God created the universe, then technically God is creator. But also, you're like, this is not an ego thing, but in my mind, God and I are one. I am God and God is me. And together we are creating my best reality as one unique energy. So, I mean, take it how you will. So don't forget, you're going to go through some like dark nights of the soul in your spiritual awakening. There's going to be some like kind of, people call them ego deaths. I don't call them that. I don't know if I can say that word on TikTok. I don't call them that because I think we need our ego. I think our ego is like the physical part of us that takes action. Our higher self guides us. This is a very like spiritual side of us. And then the ego puts it into action, like the physical body, the physicality of it. So I don't call them that. I just think that we mourn an old version of ourselves, and I think that's true. I do think that like we do have to mourn, literally mourn versions of ourselves that no longer exist. You cannot change without changing, right? And sometimes that change is challenging. It's like, well, like if I could just go back to that version. Sometimes I think like when I was a little kid, like life was so easy. And not to say my life isn't easy now, but it's a different type of easy, right? I think like, could I go back to that little kid mentality, but also have these things in my life? Yes, of course you can. You can release any parts of you and add in new parts of you at any moment, at any time. VIP Deborah says, yep. VIP Catherine says, heard this too, like Gus from Cinderella is what I thought of. Oh, so cute. This VIP Jewel says 100. Yeah, so I think like maybe I should talk more about that, which is like nobody talks about that you have to mourn old versions of you. Like, hello. But I don't think it's like an ego. I don't know if I can say that word on TikTok. TikTok has a lot of words you can't say. Freedom of speech or what? That's okay. That's okay. Play by the rules. Luckily, inside the Cosmic Collective, I can say whatever I want and put it into Teachable, and I can say whatever I want and I can put it into Discord. So there's that. So you get the full, raw, unfiltered version inside of the Cosmic Collective. You guys know that. VIP Jewel says, I'm done mourning the most recent version, but I guess I just needed to hear that it was okay. Yeah. Because it's the oscillations. Old you knew you, old you knew you. And like at some point, you've got to just like cut the old you. And you've just got to say like, okay, like you served a purpose, old version of you. You did what you had to do in the moment. And like now you're the new version. And that's even more exciting. Because that means you've transcended into like a higher frequency. And that means in your higher frequency, you can create a new reality. And VIP Jewels, the manifesting energy this week for you is like out of control. If you haven't listened to the horoscope that I posted for the weeklies on TikTok, do that. Let me just wrap this up because I want to finish like the spiritual awakening part. It basically starts as a healing journey, right? You're like uncovering something, you're realizing that some sort of energy that you're putting out is blocking you from what it is you want, or there's something that's stopping you from moving toward your dream life. For me, I had big issues around insecurities. I really struggled with self-worth, and I really struggled with confidence. Insecurities, self-worth, and confidence. My bottom chakras were jacked. I was just like, I don't know, I was just I was just flopping around like a human on earth. Like I just had no idea. And like I always took the higher road. I wasn't a petty person, but I did really like I always wanted to be kind and nice. Like that was like easy for me, but the rest was really challenging. Um, I was really jealous for a long time. That was really challenging. So I know what it's like to be in that state. So you start to heal those energies. You start to really reprogram yourself and start to talk to yourself in nicer ways. You start to take action. I started like really like fueling my body with love, eating healthier, you know, exercising more, really trying to just be a better version of myself physically. And then from there, it turns into like a self-love journey where at a certain point, the healing journey just has to be what it is. And I think a lot of people, I should talk about this as well. I think a lot of people get hung up on like, I have to heal this and I have to heal this and I have to heal this. And like to an extent, yes, but at like what point are you going to be healed? Like at what point do you just say like, I'm healed? And I promise you, you have to make that decision at some point. You really do. Or else you're going to just circle in healing. And that like becomes a stagnant cycle. It becomes a loop. You got to just say like, okay, today is the day that I am done with this XYZ, whatever it is. I'm done feeding myself this narrative. I'm done like telling myself that I still need to heal from this. Today is the day that I decide I am solidified into this new version. And that's kind of like the releasing the old version, right? The cutting off of, and then mourning and like moving toward the self-love. And self-love is powerful, right? Because you're like, yeah, maybe I'm not perfect, but nobody is. Like, surprise, surprise. And I recognize my hang-ups, so I don't let myself dip into those hang-ups. I know when I'm like procrastinating. I know when I'm like, you know, not moving my life forward out of fear. I know all those moments. So I don't allow myself to wallow in that. I just, you know, bounce out. And then from there, once you're really right with yourself, it becomes freeing because now you're like, okay, it's safe. It's basically safe for me to be my authentic self. And then you become very creative as your authentic self. You're not afraid to say what you want to say. Now, being authentic doesn't mean being mean. Like I'm talking you've healed. You're like I'm good with humanity. I feel like we're all connected, which means if I'm putting out energy to somebody, it's going to boomerang back to me. I understand karma. Like being authentic means like I have done the work and I can agree to disagree. I can flip past the TikTok I don't like without saying something nasty in the comments. Like it's that type of energy. So once you get there, that's what I'm talking about self-love. From there, it's all uphill because now you're just seeking the truth. And you're trying to figure and you're open-minded enough to say, "Wow, holy shit. I've just received new information and this new information is really jacking up what I thought about something." This is like holy cow, and it's factual as much as there are facts in this world now. I don't know how much fact exists anymore. Like I really struggle with that, because I think a lot of what we get fed is just somebody's opinion, and like an opinion is not a fact, and so it's like really tricky. And then like even from like a science perspective, like research, depending on like what you're researching, you're going to get funded and then all of a sudden it's a fact. But what about all the research that doesn't get funded because it would jack up the medical system or would jack up the education system or it would empower more people and whatever. So I have like I'm really like in it now with like what is fact, what is real, what is not. And then becomes truth seeking. And you are open-minded enough to say, this just turned my world upside down, but I'm going to hear it out without judgment, without criticism. I'm going to be open to it. And I think that's really where we're stuck in a society today is the second that somebody says a word that doesn't align with your beliefs, you're gonna like a lot of people don't have the capacity to like open their minds and say like, I'll hear you out. I want to hear what you think about this. And I think that's why we're in such a divide. And if everyone just opened their freaking minds for 1 second, but everyone wants to claim a label, and then the second that you claim a label, which I think that's also why I think labels are so detrimental to the society, It could be any label, by the way. When I'm thinking about this, I'm really thinking politics, but I don't talk politics because I think both sides is jacked. I like everybody has an agenda, so what are you gonna do? Um, but if we were to all just open our minds and take out the labels, I think what we would find is everybody wants very similar things across the whole spectrum, and there's just many different ways of going about that. So that's what it becomes. Yeah, no judgment. Moving on. Yeah. VIP Jewel says, I'm done mourning the most. Okay, I still pouted that I couldn't have a funnel cake on Friday though. Aw. Tina says, I'm really trying to learn to meditate. That's me right now. Got to cleanse that root. Yeah, meditation is super powerful, Tina. So just meditation, by the way, there's no like giant rules around it. If you can close your eyes and just breathe in and breathe out and focus on your breath, enough to kind of release the thoughts that are ruminating and running in your mind for maybe even a second because you're focused only on your breath, you have successfully meditated. And by the way, remember that the intention of meditation is just as powerful as meditating. Okay, I would say like somebody that never tries to meditate is way behind versus a person that intends to meditate and can't quite figure it out or doesn't versus a person, and then the next step would be like meditating every day. Don't put too much pressure on yourself for it though. Yeah. All right, so I think that was a good wrap up for the spiritual journey. Allow yourself to, I think the biggest thing is to allow yourself to be open to new experiences, new ideas. That's the way, by the way, that you shatter the paradigm that you're currently living in. If you're never open-minded to a new idea, if you never read something new, if you never read a different personal development book, if you never read about like a new scientific discovery, if you never read about maybe a new archaeological dig or find, if you never watch a certain news channel and you only watch one news channel, like switch it up just to see, just out of curiosity, like what are they saying? What are these people saying? Right? Because then you can kind of start to almost find like a lot of bridging and patterns, and it's like, oh, okay. Everybody's kind of saying the same thing, but different, right? That's what I would recommend, because I think like you're not like, to transcend is really to be open to everything, to see kind of like in a way like you know what you're manifesting, but you're also allowing that journey to unfold as it may, and you don't know how it's going to unfold because that's not your job. And from there, because you're so full of self-love, and not just love for yourself, but you're living under the law of one, which is the only law that you actually ever need to live under if you were to choose this path. By the way, this is a choice to live in this path. It's not an easy choice, which is why many people choose not to do it. But if you've already awakened and you don't choose this, you're jacked. You're screwed. Okay? I've got to remind people. Maybe I should remind people about that too. Can I write this down real quick? TikTok ideas. Ego. What was the other one? What was the other one I said? I can't remember. I said maybe I should talk about this too. Oh well. The final one is, if you are awake and you don't practice, you're in big trouble, because you can't like go backwards from an awakening. So once you're awake and you don't practice your spirituality, you are in like the worst space. It's gonna feel like freaking torture. Like, don't do that to yourself. And if you need help, you really need help, and you're like, I don't know how to practice, you must find somebody. Join the Cosmic Collective. It's $49 a month. You're getting spiritual lessons every single month. You're getting group energy healings every single month. You're getting 2 spiritual chats every single month. By the way, members, we spiritually chat on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Because if you are awake and you're not practicing, what's happening is you have a lot of knowledge and you're not using it to move toward your life. You're just going to put yourself in a world of just like chaos. It's going to feel like torture, I promise you. And it's like you torturing yourself, which is crazy. Winners do not resist themselves. Winners do not resist themselves, which means they don't talk shit to themselves. They don't negative self-talk. They move forward. They just keep moving forward. So you decide to live under the law of one, and the law of one basically states that we are all energetically connected. We are all from the same source energy. What I do to me is going to do unto you, right? Whatever that quote is, that verse in the Bible. Do unto you as do unto others as you do unto whatever. I don't know, you guys. I didn't study enough when I was little, apparently. All I'm saying is the energy you're putting out is coming back to you all the time. So wouldn't it just be good if you just viewed every person as like a human being first and foremost? That's probably trying to do their best based upon the programming they had from before they were born to age 7, based on the current circumstances in their lives, based on the external reality if you're really tapped into that, because that's chaos right now, right? And so you just open your heart and say, you know what? Like, I can see that, like, I can still extend love even if I don't necessarily agree with that person's viewpoint or that person's stance or even that person's energy. I was at the nail salon this weekend and there was some energy in there and I was like, oh. My first thought was like, oh, literally, oh. And then I was like, you know what? Actually, just like push out some love. Push out some love and hope that they're leaving after their pedicure, right? Go back and watch my replay. I know there was one other one, but that's okay. I have so many ideas for TikToks I could be creating for years. VIP Jewel says, it's miserable knowing but not doing according to the knowing I mean. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely miserable. Because you've got, now all of a sudden it's like you've got the knowledge and you've got a big dream, but you don't have the confidence, you don't have the self-worth, maybe you don't have the self-trust, maybe you don't have the self-security, the faith to march forward. And so it's this limbo state of like, holy shit, I know I can do it. I know I've got this. I can do it. And like not freaking doing it. And like what's worse than like having something in your heart that you're not marching toward? What's worse? That sucks. Really sucks. VIP Brenda, thank you for the heart me. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's 10:10. I was wondering like how long am I going to talk today? Sarah says getting along is detecting for common ground to common goals and allowing the rest to breathe. Ooh, I love that. Getting along is detecting for common ground to common goals and allowing the rest to breathe. Yeah. That, you know what, that Sarah, that's what I love so much about the Cosmic Collective, because it's like one of the most eccentric places I think I spend my time. We have the most interesting people inside, don't we? I think so. I'm like, holy cow, like all these people have come together in a way that is like so open, right? You can't join and be closed-minded. You just can't, or else you're gonna be miserable inside. You gotta come in and say, who am I about to experience? And then everybody starts talking, and every time we talk, we share more about each other, about ourselves. We connect on like these really cool levels, and it's like, wait a minute, this is really cool. Yeah. VIP Jewel says, it's like being in a dark hole, honestly. Don't end up there, new friends. VIP Jewel says, I love all of us. Yeah, it is. All right, let's get out our journals, you guys. Let's meditate. Sorry, let's manifest, and then let's get on the energetic wave. Eccentric. It is eccentric. That's how I would describe it. I would describe it like as a very eccentric group of people, but like in the coolest way. Personally, that's my personal opinion. I think I like have met the coolest people simply by putting myself out there and saying, okay, let's do this together. Let's manifest together. Let's meditate. Let's transcend together. And by the way, as we transcend together, that's like just power in and of itself, because we're all headed toward the same, similar goals, maybe not similar exact goals, but we all want more money inside the Cosmic Collective. We're all creating more money. We're all creating more passive income streams or income streams. We're all, yeah, eclectic too, eccentric and eclectic, yeah. Some alliteration. I love some alliteration. We're all building out healthier relationships, more loving relationships with our partners. I love the stories of like the partners that are like all of a sudden manifesting, all of a sudden, you know, doing some spiritual work in the background. I love that. So it's just really beautiful. All right, let's write down what it is we desire. Step 1, Dr. James Doty says, write down what it is you desire. I say, add in your 5 senses. So I vividly see myself. You guys, I'm up to, I'm gonna hit 44,000 TikTok followers today, probably, if not today, like in the next couple of days, which is like, holy shit. Holy shit. Because if you met me, you probably, like a lot of you here met me at 6,000. Like that's freaking, like I just feel freaking proud of myself. So that's exciting. I'm at like 357 TikTok, YouTube subscribers, which is exciting. YouTube is like a different beast. Thank you, Barry. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. She says, that's so cool. Congrats. VIP Deborah says, we all help each other with our experiences, our knowledge, our love, and hugs. Yeah, yeah. For sure, it was yeah, it's a powerful manifestation, but I'm going for millions. So just hang out with me and you'll watch it grow. I think you were manifesting 20K when I started. Yeah. So I need 500 YouTube subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. I'm currently at like 357 subscribers and like 1,000 watch hours. So I'm like closer, right? I'm getting closer to monetization there. And I already know I'm going to get monetized. So like now we're manifesting people on my podcast, which podcast people that have like sent in your stuff, Deborah and a couple others, VIP Jamie, if you still want to talk, if you're still here, who else? Mel L, I know you left, but you're interested. There was one other person I think. Um, I want to say like July. July I think we'll start kicking that off. That series. The Jewel says, I need to watch your YouTubes. Yeah, if you want. Okay, I vividly see myself. What do you see yourself doing? I vividly see myself interviewing interesting people. And I hear us having informative, transformative. I think even like just sharing your spiritual awakening story, like even if you were to just come talk to me about your story, like your experience, what it does is like gives other people permission to talk about their spirituality. It's just like talking about money. It's like the more that you talk about money, the more comfortable you get with this idea that you are meant to be wealthy. You're meant to be prosperous. You're born worthy and deserving. You're born abundant, right? It's just like talking about spirituality. The more you talk about it, and the more everyone shares their unique stories, it's like, oh, it's okay for me to like have this experience. Like that's powerful in and of itself, you guys. And I'm so freaking excited. I know I'm getting off track here, but Uranus is entering into Gemini for the first time in 84 freaking years. And I just know over the next 8 years, people are going to start like realizing that we are telepathic. People are going to start realizing they can astral travel. People are going to start tapping into their clairaudience. People are going to start reprogramming their subconscious minds to success. I just know it because Uranus, the energy of releasing what is no longer serving us so that we can build better for the collective, in the energy of it's innovation, it's invention, it's eccentricity, uniqueness, individuality, but for the greater good, in the energy of Gemini, learning, studying, education, speaking, and communicating. So the education system is going to be way different in the next 8 years. I bet you any money. And I think all of us are, a lot of people, that's why we have to talk about these things, because a lot of people don't even know that they're programmed. Imagine you're going through life, you don't even know you're programmed. You still don't know that. I would be like, shit, that sucks. So you start telling people, do you know you're programmed? Like, do you know, like, do you ever ask yourself, like, why you believe something? Like, that could be just like a beautiful conversation starter. If you're somebody like me who does not want to talk about the weather, I don't want to talk about anything lame. I don't want to talk about the Kardashians. I don't want to talk about like the latest fashion trend. Even though I love fashion, now I'm like, there's no such thing as a trend. It's just people trying to get you to buy more shit every single season. I'm just gonna buy what I like and wear what I like and be myself. And so if you were to like say something like that, like, did you know that, like, hey, I read this the other day that you're programmed like when you're before 0 to age 7, like the beliefs you have now might not even be your own. Maybe people are gonna think you're weird, but maybe you're gonna actually open somebody's mind and be like, oh shit, like really? That's why I've been struggling with relationships. That's why I've been struggling with money. That's why I've been struggling with self-worth. Oh, now I see, right? VIP Jewel says, I need to convince my hubs in email for myself, although you'll have to help unearth the story. Yeah, I'll totally help. VIP Catherine says, I have someone for you, but you were going to get back to me. Yeah, I'm just like, right now has got to be July horoscopes, money course. You are on my list, though. I won't forget. I just have to get this done before I can get anything else done. Transformative and empowering conversations. Did you finish writing down your desire? I didn't. And I feel. So I was hearing, seeing, and now I feel. And I feel so proud and fulfilled. We are helping so many people heal and manifest their best lives. Manifesting Club members, we manifest on Wednesday at 8 p.m. under the new moon. Under the new moon in Cancer, it's a powerful manifesting week, you guys. So tap in. I put Pisces through Libra horoscope already for this week. And then I'll be posting the rest of the 6 signs after this, so around in the next hour. And then I'm posting Jupiter Kazemi videos today and tomorrow, maybe just today. Let's see. And then I'm posting new moon videos the next day. It is powerful this week. Do not sleep on yourselves. Don't sleep on this energy. The energy is yours for the taking. Your life is yours for the making. Ooh, that's good. Ah! The energy is yours for the taking. Your life is yours for the making. Wise words by Lindsay with love on a Monday morning. Let's go. Step 2 and 3, read it silently, read it out loud. The knowledge of knowing, VIP Deborah says. VIP Jewel says to VIP Deborah, it feels weird to say it that way, but it's so true. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is knowledge in and of itself, just to know about knowing, about spirituality. And then, like, taking it to the next levels is crazy talk. The energy is yours for the taking. Your life is yours for the making. I should write that down. Has somebody said that before? If not, it's a direct quote. It's an original. I should write it on this page. I'm going to Google it. See. And if not, I'm going to start to say it in my TikTok videos, because why not? People need to know. People need to know that astrology is not you sitting on your hands and hoping for the best. Astrology is you using the energy. Step 3, we're going to visualize. We're going to act out a scene. Let's act out the scene, you guys. Sorry I'm going way over today. I actually did not want to go over, but here I am. Whatever, you know, I'm getting my vocal cords ready because I'm going to film like a crazy woman today. I have so much to film still, so I'm like, I'm going to talk quick. All right, hands on the heart, closing your eyes, breathing into the front of the heart chakra. Now, this is your own practice. You've been here long enough likely that you know what to do, but on the inhale, you're going to expand your heart chakra, touch the central sun. On the exhale, you're going to let that energy seep into your heart space, and you're going to exhale either any little dust bunnies. You guys, I don't even exhale any little dust bunnies anymore. Why? Because I'm whole. I've decided that I'm whole, that I'm vibrating in perfect harmony, and if I'm vibrating in perfect harmony all the time, that means there's nothing that I have to release other than gratitude, love, whatever it is. So on the inhale, you're opening up the heart chakra, accepting in maybe empowerment, confidence, you know, faith, whatever it is you need for today. And on the exhale, I'm releasing out gratitude. You choose what you want. Breathing in through the nose, opening up the heart chakra. You're breathing into the heart. And on the exhale, letting the energy out of the heart space, out of the nose, giving away something. One more, breathing in and receiving. And on the exhale, you're giving something back. Bringing your awareness and your attention to the back of the heart chakra. Do the same thing. Breathing into the nose, to the back of the heart chakra, kind of opening your wings, expanding them out, touch the central sun, and on the exhale, you're letting something go from the back of the heart chakra. Breathing into the back of the heart chakra, opening it up, big, 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 wide, wide, wide. I do feel the sensation that I have wings, and I know that sounds freaking nuts, you guys, but I can feel it. I do kind of like resonate with this idea of like earth angel, and I'm not trying to like be egotistical here. I'm just like, that resonates with me. So maybe feel your wings, see if you got them, expand them out, and on the exhale, let that energy go to the back of the heart space. One more breath on your own. But remember, even angels have boundaries, right? Doesn't mean you get people walk all over you. All right, act out a scene, whatever it is for you. I'm going to act out me talking to somebody on my podcast / video cast, whatever it's actually going to be called. I don't know. My talk show. I'd like it to just be a talk show. Like, put me on the air. I'm ready. Somebody do my hair for me. Put some makeup. I'm ready. And that's it. That's all you have to do. I was talking to Deborah. I was like, Deborah has been awake since as far as she can remember. And Deborah, we're so happy to have you here. So we're going to talk about her awakening and her story and her gifts. And Deborah, take it away. That's what I said. And you were like, okay. All right, you guys, let's get on the energetic wave. Remember, you guys, one more thing I want to point out to you. This is what I'm doing this week. It's written down on my paper. Jim Rohn says that we don't start the week until we've finished it, which means you write down what it is you're going to do this week and then you get going to it, right? So this week I just did like a quick, for the week, this is what I want to do. And then I broke it down like day by day. And if I can do all that, like I've won. And it's a shit ton of work. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, it's a lot. I don't know why I keep saying shit all of a sudden. Where'd that come from? It's a lot, but not any more than I can't manage because my higher self helped me do this. So do this for yourself and see how much progress you can make. All right, let's get on the, okay, Deborah says. Baby Deborah, you got this. Let's get on the energetic wave, closing the eyes, deep breath in through the nose, belly nice and full. Letting it go out of the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. Letting it go. One more deep breath in. And letting it go. One hand on the heart, solar plexus, one hand on the heart chakra. Repeating these words out loud if you can. And only silently if you must. The words you speak have serious power, so please say them with conviction from your solar plexus and love and intention from your heart space. Maybe today is the day that you've decided you've healed from something, period. Point blank, period, you're done. You don't need to keep revolving in this cycle. You've got to just simply change the narrative, and you've got to stick with the new narrative. And every time you stick with the new narrative, which means you are whole, it is done, you can move forward and actually start manifesting a next reality. So maybe that's what you're going to do today. And if not, maybe you're taking something one step toward a goal, a new action, facing a fear, pick something. And repeating out loud, I am strong and I can do this. Smiling big and showing me your teethers. I freaking did it. Why? Because I knew I could do it. I am strong and I created this reality. Smiling big and showing me your teethers. And why did I do it? Because I am worthy and deserving of it. And you take this thought, this feeling, ooh, this is good, you guys, I figured this out in yoga. Build, holy shit, I forgot to tell you guys, build the picture in the center of the earth in your crystal. I don't know, this came to me in yoga and holy cow, it's powerful. Whatever it is that you're going to breathe up and give to God, Source, Universe, Creator out of your crown, build it right now in the center of the earth in the crystal with your name on it. Build it. And on the inhale, you breathe the idea all the way up from the center through the chakra system, giving it to God, Source, Universe, Creator out of the crown. Big, 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 wide, wide, wide. Touch the freaking central sun. And on the exhale, you bring it down, 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 bringing it down the chakra system, trusting, knowing you have the patience, you've got it, letting it seep into and building the roots back into the crystal, cementing it in a clockwise fashion. Good. One more time. I'm doing it with you. Breathing in from the crystal in the center of the earth. Big, 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 wide, wide, wide. You're touching the central sun, and on the exhale, you let it go down the chakra system, down, 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 letting it seep all the way through your root, down through your cord, back into your crystal. Good. Cementing it in a clockwise fashion. One more time. I am strong, and I created this reality. Smiling big and showing me your teethers. And why did I do it? Because I, say your name, Lindsay, am worthy and deserving of it. Woo! You're on the energetic wave, my friends. I hope you have an amazing day. Confetti words. Ah! I guess that's why, Bex. I hope you have a great day. You've been doing that, Jules. Oh, perfect. That's a 2 to make it true. Really don't want my bra strap showing. All right, everyone have a great day. I'll see most of you guys on Discord. YouTubers, please hit the subscribe button if you're new here. I go live Monday through Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check out information in the description box below. TikTokers, if you are new here and you want to, make sure to hit the follow button and hang out with me. And check out lindsaywithlove.com for all of the products and services that I offer. Ah, the crystal thing, yes, that is so awesome, VIP Jules. That's a 2 to make it true. Perfect confirmation. You are on the right path. Love you all. Have a great day, you guys. Goodbye to my YouTubers. Have an awesome, awesome day. Bye, Sarah.